just something I kind of fell into. You know, I enjoyed maths and science, particularly sort of chemistry, and you know, it was something I was, you know, good at. So I came across engineering, and I thought actually it's something that I can apply practically as well. So the more I read about it, the more I thought, okay, this is for me. And the funny thing is, there was actually no one in my circles or family, friends who were engineers, let alone women. So it was a bit out of the box, which kind of intrigued me even more. And I just went with it.
It's the same for me as what Jazz said. So like in both maths and science, and in college, I found going through the different courses that engineering offered both the mathematical and the scientific, but as well as the practical side of it. So I work as a functional safety consultant. I've been doing it for nearly 7 years now. So it's basically advising and offering functional safety consultancy to clients from a number of industries, such as defense, oil and gas, and bio. One of the challenging things is when you deal with clients from around the world. So sometimes there's a language barrier that you have to try and overcome, especially if you're doing a lot of meetings.
Yeah, so one of the challenges I see is actually getting people to see this as more than just a tick box exercise and really embrace it, and just to get out of that mentality that this is not going to happen to us, and actually, you know, invest in it, invest in technical safety. So meeting new people, we work with so many different clients in different industries all around the world, so it really opens your mind, and traveling is always a bonus, working in such a close-knit team, and I guess fundamentally knowing that you're helping to implement change for the better.
So what Jazz said with regards to traveling is one of the key things I like as well. So you get to go to countries you wouldn't necessarily think of going to. So you get to experience the language and culture over there, but also getting to work in so many different industries. You get to see kind of how different industries operate and how their systems work and what different standards they follow compared to others. One of the traits I think an engineer needs to have is being adaptable. So engineering is quite a vast subject area and there's a lot of industries within engineering. So obviously dealing with these different industries, being able to go into the standards and procedures that that particular industry uses and how their systems operate. Another is being organized. So making sure, especially in a consultancy, you normally have a number of projects on at one time. So just prioritizing what needs to be done on the projects that you're doing, and also being approachable. Normally, I deal with clients that don't have any experience within functional safety. So to have that person that they're able to communicate to with any small or big queries is quite a big thing.
Yeah, Chantal, I think you kind of summed that up. Probably in addition to that, yeah, just the technical knowledge, and ability. So, you know, analytical skills, communication is probably key. And I guess common sense and being able to see the bigger picture, you know, because we learn so much theory, whether it's through textbooks or standards, and we need the ability to be able to apply it to real life. So you definitely need, you know, a bit of common sense and be logical in your decision making. I wouldn't say there's a particular person as such. I guess I'm particularly drawn towards women that have changed society or broken the mold. So, you know, say women's rights. So, you know, whether it's the right to vote or equal pay or, you know, even the right to education. Even when I look at, say, women in Sikh history who have fought against injustice and tyranny. So I just think there's so many inspirational people out there, and you could learn something from them and apply it to your everyday life.
Yeah, so like Jazz, I don't have any specific female role models, but I would say people kind of like Serena Williams or Michelle Obama. Um, so so women that have, they juggle both working and raising a family, and basically keeping everything on balance. Also films, kind of, you see now a lot films being made on historical people, and one film in particular called Hidden Figures made me find out about the female engineers that were involved with the calculations that helped with the NASA moon landings. Nowadays, from when I started in engineering, I think you see a lot more women as in engineering or in scientific or mathematical jobs now. I think it's more because women are now coming out of that kind of stereotypical role that they think they need to, or what society thinks they need to go into. And they've realized that engineering is not kind of that manly environment that people portray it to be.
Yeah, and I guess just to add to that, I think once upon a time there was this perception that in order for a woman to succeed in a male dominated industry like, say, engineering, you know, she had to be aggressive, ruthless, boisterous, and almost like cutthroat, like put this facade up. And what I've learned through my experience is actually that's not the case. You can be yourself and still succeed. And, you know, as the years have gone by, women are paving the way. And I've seen a lot more women in those meeting rooms where decisions are being made. Go for it. Engineering is such a versatile discipline, and there's so many opportunities out there. And, you know, at the end of it, it is such a rewarding career. I guess the piece of advice I would give is just have confidence in your ability, because if you're good at what you do and you have the passion and the drive, you'll succeed. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Would say the main thing is to do your research. Just there's so many different industries, just so that you're able to get an idea of what those industries offer and kind of where you feel you can make your mark within that industry. And also nowadays you have a lot of work placements or internships that a lot of engineering companies do. So even if it's something you're not, it's not an area you're thinking of going into, just kind of maybe having that sort of trial might put you into an engineering field that you haven't thought about before.